guys, my name is Mayana, and in celebration I guess of Firestarter releasing Friday the 13th, my favorite day of the year, I decided I want to do a Stephen King collections video. I recently became like this really big Stephen King fan. I've read a lot of his books within like the past like year. The first 2 months of me becoming a Stephen King fan, I've read like so many of his books, and I actually just finished Firestarter. One of my top favorite Stephen King books. Actually, I have to like go through my rankings list and redo it. I thought like in celebration of Firestarter movie and Zac Efron playing a freaking dad, I would do a video of my Stephen King collection. And then if you guys want to see me do a video of like me ranking Stephen King books or other Stephen King style videos, I have so many ideas. I'm just scared that like nobody's gonna care. So anyways, let me get into this video. So before I even get into the video, I want to share my Richie Funko Pop. I love Richie. I also have a Stephen King tattoo. It is from my favorite book. It is the loser tattoo that Eddie got when he broke his arm, and I got it on the same wrist and in like the same way that he had it on his cast. I'm obsessed with this tattoo. I love the Losers Club. Like I love it. Like I'm gonna do these books first, and then I have more books, so I'm gonna do these books first. I do have multiple copies of some of these books, as you'll see. The first book I have is Under the Dome, which I have read. This one's like a 3-star book to me. I did like the idea of this book. Some of my issues with Stephen King is that I like the idea of his books, but they get like really dark. That's his Scorpio placement coming out. Let me stop. But yeah, because if you watched, I either have a video coming out or already out where I read Stephen King's natal birth chart. So if it's already out, you should check it out. If it's not, you should stay tuned for it because it's going to be the next video. But yeah, this, like, I just kind of lost, like, I don't know, like the book had me at first, but then it got so long and I kind of ended up getting bored. And a lot of Stephen King books do that. Like sometimes they end up being so long for no reason, and I just end up being like super bored. And I like the concept of this book, and I really like the idea, and I liked this cover. I have to have some certain books I have to have in hardcover. The next book I have is Needful Things. I got most of these books I got, by the way, I did get them on eBay for really cheap. I like this Needful Things covers a lot, and this one is about this shop that pops up in Castle Rock, and you can get things from it, and you don't always have to pay. Like sometimes you have to pay like in other ways than just with money. And I like it. Once again, I like the concept of the book, but it just ended up being so long that it got boring. And I have Stephen King. Then I have Duma Key, which I have not read, but I really love the cover to this book. And if you hold it out like this, it makes one big picture. Oh my gosh, Stephen King looks so young. But yeah, I forgot what this one was about. Then I have Billy Summers, which is Stephen King's most recent release. As you can see, it still has a Target sticker on it. I am really interested in reading this one, and it's not too big, so I feel like this one won't lose my attention. Some of his books like end up losing my attention because they end up being so freaking long. But I love them. Obviously, I don't mind his books being long. Some books don't need to be as long as they are. That's, I think, sometimes where my issue comes in. And then I have my favorite Stephen King covers, and that is Desperation and The Regulators. So let me make sure I'm holding this up right, because I think the last time I held it up wrong. So Desperation and The Regulators, which I ordered. I think I ordered The Regulators twice, and one came without the cover, so I said no, like I got this for the cover, like let me rebuy them. And then I like the back of the book because so The Regulators has a picture of Desperation, and then Desperation has a picture of Regulators. So I did read Desperation and I did like it. This one is about like this, what is it called, this like spirit, this evil spirit called Tick or something like that, something with a T. And he ends up possessing this police officer, and this police officer ends up like taking people hostage, and these people have to like work together to get out of like this hostage because this man is like freaking crazy. I did like it, but it was so long. It was so long. I feel like I might like Regulators. This one a lot of people don't like because they say this one's like very cartoonish and like weird, and like this is like the alternative universe of this, where there's actually a child like controlling all these people or something like that. And I am actually excited to read this one. Like, I feel like this one being weird. Like, I know it's weird and I like weird. I feel like I'm really gonna like this. And then I have The Institution, which is one of my favorite Stephen King books. This one is about this kid who has special powers, and he ends up going to this institution with other kids who have special powers, and like there's like some weird shit going on. And it's kind of like Firestarter, and then it's also kind of like Stranger Things. And I really loved this book. Like, this book was really, really good. And then I have Pet Sematary, which was gifted to me by a friend. When the Pet Sematary movie came out, I was really excited for it, so I bought the book. But then everyone kept being like, oh, the Pet Sematary movie is actually ass. Then I was like, eh. But I still do want to read the book. But it's just something about, I kind of don't care to read the book because I don't care about a Pet Sematary. But also, I do want to read some of Stephen King books because, you know, if you're a Stephen King book fan, then you know that his books all like correlate to each other somehow. So the books that I have, they correlate to other books for some reason, whether I remember it or not. Then I have The Outsiders, which I have read. I love this book. This book was basically like, this guy ends up being accused of brutally murdering a child, and he's like, man, I didn't do that, I wasn't there. And he has like an actual alibi. Like, people saw him, he was caught on camera not being there, but people actually also saw him there. And it was just like really good, really freaking creepy. Like, I couldn't read this book at night. But if you have not read the Mr. Mercedes series and you plan to, I would suggest reading it first. But this one was really good. I really like this. And then I'm going to do these books just because they're in a way. So I have 11/62/23, which is going to be one of my next Stephen King reads. I'm really excited for this one. This one is about the JFK like murders, and it's a guy going back in time to like try and stop it. And it also has a TV show where it plays James Franco. And this either might be my next book or the book after next. I really hope I can get to this one in May or June. I try to read at least one Stephen King books a month, but I'm really behind, so I might try to do 3 Stephen King books a month for like the next few months. I was actually supposed to do a vlog where I read this and uploaded 11/22, but because I went MIA, I didn't get to read it. But I'm so excited for this one. I think this one might end up being like my favorite Stephen King book. Like, I'm really, and it takes place in Derry. Derry is my favorite Stephen King town. I really hope that when he writes more books, that he writes more in Derry, because like, ugh, I love Derry. And then we have Dolores Claiborne, which is my favorite. I hate that this cover came like crooked. It won't sit up straight. This is my favorite Stephen King. This is one of my favorite Stephen King books. My 2 top favorite Stephen King books are Dolores Claiborne. I almost just gave you out the finger. Dolores Claiborne and Rita Hayworth in The Shawshank Redemption, which is very ironic because both of my grandma's names are Rita and Dolores. So my grandma that passed recently, her name is Dolores, and when I read this book, it really reminded me of her. Then Dolores Claiborne is about this older woman, and she has been accused of killing the lady that she took care of, but she also was already accused of killing her husband. So you're basically following the story of that. And I'm like, oh, like, I thought this one was gonna be so boring. I'm so glad I picked it up because it was so good. And it reminds me of my grandma, because like, she's like this older woman who's like cussing all the time, and that's like how my grandma was. Like, even the way she was like talking reminded me of my grandma. And my grandma was like an older woman taking care of even older people, and I just remember it just made me miss my grandma so much, and it really reminded me of her. But also, like, the story is actually really freaking good. This is a feminist story. Stephen King was in his feminist bag when he wrote Dolores Claiborne. I also have Bizarre Bad Dreams, and this one I just really like the cover. And when I first started BookTube, actually, I bought this one. I bought the mass market paperback of this one, but I really wanted this hardcover because I freaking am obsessed with this cover. And obviously Stephen King's like short stories. So I don't know why I'm explaining to you guys the plots of this story, because I feel like if anyone's watching it, they're probably gonna be Stephen King fans. But also I have a feeling that people who are gonna watch this video are gonna be people who just watch Firestarter and want to know more like Stephen King books. So I don't know. And then I have The Stand, which is humongous. I'm excited to read this. I want to read this one this year because last year I read it and it was 1,000 pages, and then this year I want to read this one and it's 1,500 pages, I think. I'm not gonna check, I'm not gonna fact check myself, I don't care that much. And then we have the last books on my bookshelf, but not the last books I have. So we have It by Stephen King, which I spray painted the edges myself. This is the one I got. I loved it. This is like my favorite Stephen King book. The only thing that makes it like, I can't decide. I've been trying to decide for months like what I want to rate this book, because I don't know if I want to give it 4.5 stars or 5 stars. And because the use of the N word in this book really makes me uncomfortable. But this Stephen King book is one of the only Stephen King books that are long that I feel like were meant to be long. Like, this one was just so amazing. It was so good. I love the story of friendship. I love like the characters coming together. I need to reread this book because I freaking love this book. Like, I also have Cell, which I bought because, first of all, eBay books, I think I got this for like $1. I think I got this on a deal for like buy 3 get 2 free, buy 2 get 2 free. Like, I got it on like some type of deal. I mean, eBay has really good deals. Like, I'm telling y'all, check out eBay for Stephen King books. But I got this one because one is short. Oh my gosh, Stephen King on the back. One is really short, but this is one of his earlier books, I'll say, actually. You can tell by the freaking pages. But yeah, this one is about like this cell that like causes like this, like, not apocalypse, but there's a reason cell rhymes with hell. It's just really, I feel like it's gonna be a really interesting story about technology, and like it kind of reminds me like a pandemic happens or something that relates to now happens, like something that relates to like a now happens. And I really wanted to read this book. And I have the Bill Hodges Mr. Mercedes series, and I have to go back and read because I read it before The Outsider because I didn't know it was like that freaking huge of a spoiler. But I have no problem. I don't mind being spoiled for things, so that's fine. On to my very tiny mass market paperbacks. So I have The Shining, which I have yet to read. I don't know why I'm holding off reading The Shining. The Shining and Misery, for some reason, I am holding off from reading. I don't know why. But I'll get to them when I get to them. And then I have The Stand, which, don't know why I thought I was going to read this in a mass market paperback. Don't quite understand why and how I thought I was going to make that happen. And then I have Salem Slot, which I have read, and I actually have a vlog on this book. So if you care to watch it, it's a pretty interesting vlog, I will say. So I have 3 books from his Gunslinger series. I did start reading this book, and then I read the second one, and it made me really uncomfortable because in one of the books he has a black character, and I don't like how she was written, and the use of the N-word in that book, one of the books that I read, was like so insane. I almost started crying, so I had to kind of DNF the series, but I do want to finish it at some point. Got the first 3 books in the, what the fuck are these? What's the Dark Tower series? Or not even the first 3 books, but I got 3 books, okay? So I got book 1. I love these covers, by the way. I got book 1, which was fine. It was okay. It's like I like the idea of the books, but just something about the books are just saying. I got the Wolves of the Kala, because I really like the title and the cover to this. And I got Song of Suzanne, which I don't really particularly care for this cover. And then I also have Different Seasons, which is a short story collection, and it has Rita Hayworth, which I loved, After People, which I haven't read, The Body, which I also haven't read, and then A Breathing Method, which I will not be reading because I don't care. This is the Hotter Halloween editions. You can find these on Amazon. So I got Misery, which I am avoid reading, and my mom loves the Misery movie, and me, my mom, and my sister were all gonna buddy read Misery, which my sister read, my mom didn't read, nor did I. And I let her borrow this copy. She started using it as a folder, and like, look what she did, guys. Like there's like, look, and it's happening all around the freaking book. Never let her borrow a book again, dude. This is why I don't like people. The Virgo in me, the Virgo Sun and Moon. But yeah, I have Misery. It's so pretty. I have The Shining, which is so pretty. They also have Cell, which if I like Cell, I might get that one. And Christine. Christine is my mom's favorite Stephen King movie. She doesn't read Stephen King. The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon, which I have read. Didn't really care for it. And then Rose Matter, which is about this girl who is in an abusive relationship and she's trying to escape him. And for some reason that really intrigues me. And I don't own any copies of Carrie. Carrie is my favorite Stephen King movie. So is In the Tall Grass. Both the books I hate, unfortunately. And now on to my last pile finally. So these are all gallery books. I love the covers to these. Like I don't really really care for paperbacks. Like I don't mind them, I don't hate them, but I want it all like, I want all of my copies to be like the same editions, if that makes sense. Like I want all my hardcovers to be like, I want them all to be hardcovers. But if they're not going to be hardcovers, I want them all to be the same editions, just because some Stephen King books, I'm not going to lie, some of those covers are really like hideous and outdated. So with these ones, I can never go too wrong. So gallery books did their thing. I love these covers. So I have Eyes of a Dragon, which is a middle grade fantasy book. I'm a fantasy girl. I actually really don't really read middle grade. I don't know if this is middle grade or not, but I'm pretty sure it is. But it is a fantasy book. I'm a fantasy girl. I usually read adult SFF. Obviously, I heard Stephen King had a fantasy novel, and it's about dragons. I love dragons. I don't really know if it's about dragons, but I love this cover, and I wish it was in hardcover because I'm obsessed with this cover. But that's okay. And it's not long. A lot of people don't like this book though, so I'm scared to read it. But also, I think I'm different than other Stephen King fans. I think I'm like in the middle. I'm either harder on him or softer on him depending on the book. So, not like other girls. Then I have 2 editions of Firestarter, the same books. So I got the mass market. Actually, this is not even a mass market paperback. I don't know what the fuck this is, but this is a disgrace. I hate these half books, and they're starting to become a thing because even my Doom collections, I had to search for full paperback Doom collections and not these half fugly paperbacks. I don't know what these are, but they're a disgrace and I hate them. And I ordered this one because my friend sent me money to buy this for my birthday like 2 years ago, and she was a Stephen King girl, so I said, okay, I'm gonna get Firestarter, and I got this book. But I thought it was going to be a full paperback. And then I finally found gallery books. And I finally found the full paperback. So I have this one now. I love Firestarter. I actually just read this book. I just finished it as I'm recording this as of last night. I'm obsessed with this book. I love the story. It is about this dad and his daughter who are on the run from the government. And it kind of reminds me of The Institution. This girl, she has the power of, you know, starting fires. And there's also this thing called The Push. And like Stephen King is really good when it comes to writing children, and when it comes to writing like horror mixed with like superpower. He's really good with those two separately and together. And if he writes books about children, I'm gonna be reading them because he eats when it comes to that. Like one of my favorite things that he writes. And then I have The Dead Zone. I don't know, but this one sounds interesting. So this one might actually be my next one. This is what, 500 pages? I don't know what it is with this man. Like, why is 500 pages his word count? But it's whatever. And then The Dark Half, which I think this one is the one about this, like, I think this is one, it's either this one or The Dead Zone, which is about this guy who, his book, he tries to like delete his book character, and the book character personifies itself and just starts fucking up shit around town, and they think it's the main character. I really like ideas of that with Stephen King. Kind of reminds me of Outsider, where like people start fucking up stuff pretending to be somebody else. I really like that. And then I have Insomnia, which a lot of Stephen King fans don't like, but this one takes place in Derry, and it's about this character who has insomnia and they see really freaky shit. I love Derry, as I mentioned before. This one actually might be my next Stephen King read. If not this one, then 1922. This one, then that one, or that one, then this one. And then Tommyknockers. Tommyknockers is 3rd, and then maybe Dead Zone is 4th. Maybe I can try to read all these books this month. But yeah, Insomnia, I really want to read Insomnia because I have insomnia, and I don't know, it would be cool to just stay up late reading this book and like just encountering, like reading some freaky shit going on, and just, I don't know, I feel like it'd be really cool. And then I have the Tommyknockers, which I want to read the Tommyknockers because, as I mentioned earlier, Stephen King books all connect to each other somehow. And so also it's in 11/22/63 also connect to each other big. But in the Tommyknockers, they're going to Derry to get some batteries, and on their way back they see a freaky ass clown in a dream. And I love, Stephen King is such a freaking genius when it comes to like his universe, his Stephen King multiverse. And so I love how he kind of connects things like a little bit. Like if I were an author, I would do that exact same thing. And I love how, and I'm gonna read a 800-page book for a Derry reference because I love Derry that much. I am that kind of girl. But yeah, that is it for this video. Please let me know like what Stephen King video you want me to do next. Like if you want me to do a specific reading vlog. I kind of want to read The Stand, but I want to wait until I get more Stephen King fans to subscribe to me, because I read Salem's Lot and no one really cared about that video, and like it's fine that no one cared, but it's like I know there are people out there who are care. So I'm like waiting for the Stephen King fans to come to me, and then I'm gonna like upload like more like reading vlogs on his book, especially his book that's coming out this year. I'm gonna do a reading vlog for that one, and then I'll probably do like, I don't know, I want to do more reading vlogs for Stephen King. I want to do like ranking my, telling you my top favorite Stephen King, my top 10 Stephen King books, my top 20. I want to rank some of his books. Yeah, if you guys care for those videos, let your girl know. I'll definitely be down to do that. But yeah, thank you for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video.